Get ready with me, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a story time on just like my relationships. Everything that I say is going to be like random about different people, I guess, and if you're mentioned, I'm sorry, but we did have a relationship, so I do have a story. And I also have literally been in the trenches. Like, I have gone through so many awful relationships, so I have like my earring. Okay, I have so much to share. Okay, so starting way down at the beginning, like almost 4 years ago, I like dated this kid, and I'm not even kidding you. I was so young, but it did not feel like I was young in that relationship. Like, I was so bad, and I literally did not get over this kid for like 2 years. It was so bad. I have never ever gone through that since. Like, I have never, not never, but I have basically never struggled to get over someone necessarily. Not like that I'm saying I move on, but I have not been like stuck on someone in so long. I don't know if that sounds bad, but like I just don't sit there and like ponder about it for forever. Whenever I was younger, I don't know what I was doing, but I hung out with so many boys that were 2 grades above. Like, it was in 8th grade and freshman year. 8th grade, I hung out with so many sophomores, and freshman year, I didn't hang out with as many, but I hung out with, like, a lot of, like, juniors. Like, I don't know what I was doing. I don't know, but it's what I did. And then after that, I took a break from the older men for a little bit, luckily. Then I went right back and started dating a boy 2.5 years older than me. 2.5. At 15, my boyfriend was 18 years old. When I tell you, never again in my whole entire life, unless I'm like 50, because that's like not bad, like, will I have a boyfriend 2.5 years older than me. You are at 2 completely different stages of your life. You want 2 completely different things most of the time, and that age gap sets such a bad dynamic between the relationship, because you like are, it's like a power dynamic. Like, whether you realize it or not, it's a power dynamic, and some people can have a relationship without that, sure. Me personally, I did not. I know that I had a power dynamic. I wouldn't say that I was controlled. I would say that I was controlled. And in the moment, I was like, no, I love him. I'm going to get married to him. But like, looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, stand up for yourself. However, that boy wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't that bad. My worst trenches of the trenches, worst relationship literally ever that I've ever gone through, and I hope that I never ever go through again. This boy called me names. Like, that's the first time I've ever been actually in a toxic relationship. Like, he called me names. He couldn't take no for an answer. Like, he literally called me like a whore and like a bop and like a slut. Like, he literally called me those names. He actually literally just made a TikTok with like text from that in it, because I mean, it goes with the trend, and I'll never see him again. And so he literally was like, oh my gosh, so horrible. And if you magically see this, I'm sorry. Like, you're not like, I'm sorry, but the relationship was so bad. But yeah, he would literally just like text me, and like if he was mad, he would just like cuss me out and everything. And I am very, like, my faith is very, very important to me. And his faith was not important to him in the beginning. And I don't know why, but I still was like, okay, no, like, it's fine, like, whatever. He started going to church and everything. And at the end, I'm sorry to put this person on blast, but told me that God told him it was time to asked me to get back together, and I said no. And I was just like, I don't think that God told you to get back to, like, to ask me, because I said no. Like, I didn't want to get back together. Maybe it was so that he could like get over me or something, but I don't know. I have dated like a few like angels, and I just never like the angels. Like, I don't know why. I feel like I'm like toxic, but I never ever can like stay in a relationship with them, and I don't know if like, I don't know why, but yeah. So I have so many more horror stories. Oh, forever ago, I can't believe that I left this out. I got cheated on, and it wasn't that deep. I was literally a freshman, the beginning of my freshman year. But if you don't know, I made a video, like, of me breaking up with him, and I never posted the video. If I did, when I do, I should say, it'll go viral. But I made the video, and I made, like, a get ready with me breaking up with him viral. I think it has 5 million views. It has like 600,000 something likes. It still gets likes every day, comments every day. Like, people still comment on my TikTok and are like, I know you from whenever you broke up with your boyfriend. Like, you're doing so much better now. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm doing so much better. Like, I'm not dating a loser. But yeah, no. So I did have that happen, and I did whatever it's called, like, capitalize off it, I guess. I haven't used this lip liner in so long, and I feel like my lips are so dark right now. I don't like it. One kid I liked for, like, so long, such a long time, and then whenever we finally, like, got together, it was so, like, it was so bad. And I remember, I don't know why, but I cried over that so much. Like, I was so upset for so long, and I feel like with just me saying that, nobody would necessarily know who it is, because that could apply to, like, multiple people. I'm trying not to, like, drop too much lore. Like, I'm trying to, for some people, because I'm trying to keep it a little bit, like, inconspicuous on who I'm talking about. But some of them, I mean, you already know. Like, some of them it's bad, but gosh. My one boyfriend told me that essentially, this isn't exactly it, but if we cuddled and I was, like, too close to him, then that meant that I wanted to, like, have, like, intercourse. And keep in mind, I want to wait till marriage. But he told me that if I did that, then that means that I wanted that. So I wasn't allowed, because then he wouldn't be able to control himself. And let me tell you, that made me mad. Because what do you mean? I like to cuddle. What do you mean? So yeah, now I don't even like to cuddle with people anymore, because, yeah. I have so much more like, lore, though, and I tried to keep it kind of, like, respectful in this video. And so if you want any more lore, let me know. If you're still watching all the way till the end, comment down below the broken heart emoji, because that is literally my heart after surviving these actual, like, monsters. And before you ask, yes, I've had a lot of relationships. I can't help it. I have one, it doesn't work out. I try to stay single. I'm single for like 2 months, and then I'm in a new relationship, and I hate that I do that. I absolutely hate it, because it always goes wrong. Trying to fix that this time, the thought of a man literally repulses me. I don't snap anyone, I don't text anyone, I don't talk to anyone, I don't hang out with anyone. Like, I am, like, really single and trying to keep it that way, so please don't bully me. But yeah, if you watch all the way to the end, you're seriously a real one. Like I said, I try to keep it PG, respectful. I have a feeling that half these people are gonna see this, because I feel like some of them stalk my TikTok, I'm not gonna lie. Or at least have, like, friends that stalk my TikTok, or like, girls that stalk my TikTok or something. I also might take this down if it flops, or if it's too controversial, if I decide. And yeah, so I hope you have a wonderful day, and I love you. Jesus loves you so much, and yeah.
Let me tell you my most embarrassing story. I was in year 7, so I was like 11, 12 maybe, and I need a wee. So I go to the toilet, I'm weeing, and then a group of girls come in, and I knew from their voices, I was like, shit. Because these girls, they were older than me, and they shat the life out of me. I knew it was go time. I sat in that stall, and I braced myself. Oh my God, it sounds like an elephant is pissing. Her piss is so loud. It gets worse. Maybe she needs some water, because it fucking stinks in here. I was being bullied at the time as well for being ginger and ugly and weird, because I was. And so I just cried. Oh my God, is she crying? That's so embarrassing. When I tell you I wanted to be flushed down that toilet, I've never wanted to die more in my life. That's not true, actually, but anyway. So I go back to form, I'm trying to hide my tears to make sure no one sees me because me crying was a daily occurrence at that point. Miss Pennock sees it straight away. Big up Miss Pennock, love you. She's like, you're crying, who made you cry? And I'm like, no Miss Pennock, this one's really embarrassing, I don't want to talk about it. Who made you cry? And I'm like, so she runs, she sprints down the corridor, tells head of fucking house. The girls get detention, but this is the best part. When they're in detention, all they had to do for 2 hours was write me apology letters for saying that my piss stank. They had to write formal apology letters on proper, perfect paper in envelopes saying, I'm sorry I took the piss out of your piss. And I received them the next day, sat on my fucking desk, like, welcome back to your nightmare of secondary school. Here's the letters of people apologising for taking the piss out of your piss. I still have them. They are somewhere. I saw them the other day, and that's why I'm telling you the story, because I was like, oh, I forgot about that. That's my story about some group of girls taking the piss out of me. Yeah, quite literally. If you're watching this, I hope you're doing well. I drink more water now.
Tell you all a story time of the weirdest fucking girl I've ever met in my entire life. This girl was the biggest hater of me for some reason. I don't know what I did to her. I don't know if I committed first degree murder on her entire bloodline, that this girl has always had this weird energy with me, or maybe she's just like a lifelong hater of everyone. And in that case, my apologies, friend. Get it together, please, for your own sake. Listen to this shit, okay? So in high school, she was always really weird with me. And then there was this one time, my best friends went to my middle school and they were talking to all like the teachers and whatever. And one of the teachers made a little comment to them, basically saying, Sahar seems like she's really friendly with all the boys. Basically calling me a slut, okay? Basically saying that he's hearing that I'm a slut. And I'm like, who the fuck could this be? Who is this that would go to my middle school teacher and be like, oh, like Sahar's a slut? And I was in the washroom, all right? And I was talking to this one girl and I was like, oh, you know what's super weird? Someone like told Mr. Blank that I'm like a slut or something. Isn't that weird? And then she's like, oh, really? Like, who would do that? And then she like stormed out of the bathroom. And then it clicked for me. This bitch had been volunteering at the fucking school under this teacher in specific, who really had the nerve to be talking shit about me, trying to call me a slut or whatever, to my 6th grade teacher. And then flash forward to like last week, all right? And posting about, I'm like, oh my God, like I said I wasn't gonna travel for the rest of the, like for a little bit, and now I'm booking another trip because with what I do, guess what? Traveling is a thing, okay? Social media people, surprise, we travel. She has the nerve to respond to my story being like, that ecological footprint though. Sorry, I didn't fucking realize I was talking to Mother Nature herself. And I'm just so confused because I'm like, this girl, you work at a electronics shop. That ecological footprint, let's talk about that, because they're probably throwing out phones and shit left and right. I don't really know what these stores do, but regardless, I'm like, what are you doing that is so pro-economy that you feel so entitled to tell me about me and my ecological footprint, okay? I recycle more than anybody I know. I'm literally a hoarder because I'm scared of throwing things out because I don't like wasting things, okay? Beyond the point, I was poor my entire life. I only traveled one time up until I was like 21, so leave me alone. Let me do my thing. Hater back then, hater now. It just made no sense to me. I did unfollow her right after that because I was like, this is hater behavior. My brother was mean to her when we saw her in person. I felt bad for her. And turns out she deserved it.
Okay guys, like I have the craziest friendship experience story time that I just like have been holding for years, and it just came to my attention that this is like happening to more people from these people. So now I'm just like, okay, it's my time. I'm obviously not going to say names or anything. I'm just going to call them thing 1, thing 2. They're twin sisters. That's pretty much all you need to know to put the pieces together here. But like, have you guys been friends with like people that just like lie about like anything and everything? Well, yeah, like now take that, times it by 1,000,000. Like think like pretends they have cancer level. Yeah. And like, I'm not going to talk about like other people's experiences necessarily, but like, let's just say like they've done things like this before. And there's so many red flags, and honestly, I feel like so stupid because I was just trying to see the good in them. Like, they seemed like super nice people when I met them, and I just should have known. Like, anyways. So it started off with them, like, lying about, like, random stuff. Like, they graduated early. They went to, like, McGill, and their mom is, like, the head of cancer care, and this, and that. Like, all these things that are easy enough to fact check and, like, see that that is not true, obviously. But this is where it really happened and became, like, personal and actually affected me emotionally. So we booked a trip to Calgary Stampede. We'd only been friends for probably, like, 2 or 3 months at this point. But we're like, like, they're down for things. I'm down for things. Like, let's book this trip. And there's 5 of us going, so it's me, my friend, them 2, and their friend. And, like, the hard part about it is because, like, unless you experienced it personally, like, you will never understand this truly. But now that I know other people have experienced it, like, firsthand, it, like, makes me feel like I can actually share this and not feel, like, crazy. So pretty much the very first night that we get to Stampede, one of them is in the room with us, one of them is in a different room getting ready. And the one in the room with us just starts crying and saying how she, like, pretty much is gonna die, and she has lung cancer and is on a lung transplant list, and that she's been in and out of the hospital for the last, like, month or something without us knowing. And, like, first of all, these girls are the biggest attention seekers ever. If there was actually something happening where they had to go to the hospital, they would be telling everybody and anybody about it. So I already know this isn't true. Plus, if you're on a lung transplant list, you are not at Calgary Stampede drinking and partying. Never mind, like, smoking or, like, anything like that. So anyways, I'm not believing it. My friend's not believing it. We're kind of, like, laughing about it because, like, not to be mean or anything, but we're just like, we don't believe you. A little background where how this makes this personal to me. This summer, my grandpa had actually been dying of cancer the entire summer and passed away actually a month after this happened. But yeah, I was watching him die all summer. So, like, talking about cancer and, like, making, like, a lie about it is just something that's so wrong in so many ways, but it was just especially personal to me. And my other grandpa died when I was younger from lung cancer, and we found out he had lung cancer because he collapsed. And so I kind of bring this up. I'm like, girl, like, you don't have lung cancer. You're definitely not on a lung transplant list because, like, if you actually did, you wouldn't be here, and, like, you wouldn't be able to party because, like, my grandpa collapsed when he had lung cancer because he couldn't breathe, this, and that. So keep in mind that I did share this story with them. So I couldn't be around them anymore, so I let, like, thing 1 go out alone, and thing 2 stayed with us, and me and my friend were kind of, like, talking to her, like, girl, like, is this for real? Because, like, there's always 2 of them together. We rarely have one of them separate. And she's kind of, like, telling us, like, yeah, she, like, kind of lies a lot, and, like, she is, like, kind of a problem, and she, like, hurts a lot of our friendship. And so her own sister is telling us, like, this girl does lie, like, and I just get dragged into it. And then later that night, we get a call from the friend that went with thing 1, and it was like, guys, you have to come to the staircase right now. There's, like, an emergency. We run into the staircase, and there is thing 1 laid out, passed out, in the stairwell, pretending that she's unconscious. And I asked the friend, like, how much did she have to drink? Because, like, that was, like, where my mind went first, was like, oh, maybe she drank too much, and this is, like, whatever. But she's like, she didn't really drink much. So I'm like, okay, like, maybe she got roofied or something. So regardless, I was like, we're gonna call 911, okay? So I'm like, boop, boop, okay, I'm calling. And then she, like, magically awakens, and it's like, oh, I'm alive. Super dramatic, may I add. And she's like, my lung, like, I need my medicine. And her sister goes and grabs the bronchitis puffer that they had from when they had bronchitis, like, a week earlier, that they were still both having. Like, they were both coughing, like, weird, which they were trying to play it off as, like, the lung cancer, but it was because they have bronchitis. Anyways, so then I, like, put all of the pieces together, and I was like, oh my god, she's trying to pretend, like, to pass out to try and make this more believable, that, like, because this is what happened to my grandpa when he found out he had lung cancer. And that's when I was like, these people are evil. Okay, well, safe to say I was not friends with them after that experience, and they kind of apologized after for other things, but not for that specific thing. But yeah, the rest of Stampede was horrible. It was just not good. To this day, it was, like, the biggest waste of my money and time that I've ever had in my life. But whatever. So I got back home, and I wrote out this entire notes thing, which I'm sure I could probably find somewhere still. It had all the receipts of, like, everything, all their lies, everything they've ever said, like, everything. And at the end, because I was like, okay, I honestly think that someone should just tell them these things, because if I was this psychotic and delusional, I would want someone to just tell me. And at the very end, I said, if I hear anything about me come out of your mouths, I will make sure this was, like, spread around. Like, people will hear about this. And the only reason I said that is because every close friend they've ever had in the past, they have spread the craziest, weirdest, like, actually horrible lies about, like, very controversial, which I'm not going to get into. And like that, I respect those people a lot because they really went through it. And obviously all that part of it was taken out if I were to share it with anybody. But whatever, I sent it to them, never heard anything back again. Honestly, never really saw them again. A week later, I hear, oh, actually, we stopped being friends with her because she just got super jealous of us at Stampede because we're getting all the male attention over her. And I just, like, couldn't help but laugh because I was like, you couldn't have thought of anything else, like, anything, like, maybe believable. So after that, I was like, you know what? Screw it. And I, like, made a private story with a bunch of, like, my close girlfriends. And I was like, here you go, guys. Eat this up. And honestly, it was, like, a PSA to, like, my close friends. Like, do not fall for this trap of a friendship because it's not worth it. Well, last weekend, it's been, like, years. And I'm, like, completely over it now. But these two people came up and they're like, hey, so you're friends with the twins, right? And I was like, I haven't heard this in forever. But I was like, yeah, actually, I was. They're like, well, you wouldn't believe what happened to us. And I was like, baby girl, let me believe you. Whatever you say, I already believe you. And almost word for word, what they did to me, they did to them, including, like, pretending cancer. Like, I don't think they had it this time, but, like, their mom did or something. Just bizarre. Like, crazy. So, needless to say, we're gonna start, like, a little trauma support group over this because, seriously, like, this is nuts. But yeah, if this also happened to you, like, let's all be friends and let's get drinks and talk about this because what the heck. Anyways, peace and love, guys. That's just, like, I can't believe I'm bringing this up after all this time. But, like, I actually just, like, I think it's the funniest thing. They've not learned their lesson at all. So, whatever. Bye.
Story time. Okay, it's January 2024. I'm a senior in high school. I have a boyfriend I've been dating for about 2 years. We're in a rough patch. We're not doing so good. But, you know, we're still together. We're still doing this. I have a gay best friend, me and Diego. We're in our prime friendship. We're hanging out. It's a dark evening. It's like 7 p.m. And, we're driving around in my old Beamer, getting a 4 for $4 from Wendy's, whatever. We have a mutual friend, me and Diego, Elijah. Sometimes we hang out with Elijah. Sometimes, you know, all three of us hang out. I'm driving. I get a DM. It's Elijah. Your boyfriend got on the school bus. That's all it says, okay? We haven't been talking all day. It's just a random message. What? I text Elijah. What do you mean? What? So many questions. My boyfriend doesn't even ride the school bus. So I'm confused. Elijah's not answering. I start calling Elijah. Hello, answer. He's not answering. I turn my car around and I drive to his city because I know where he lives. I go 8 minutes to his city, get to his house, knock on his door. His mom answers. She's like, oh, hi, Tati. Where's Elijah? Oh, Elijah's at Pedro's house. I know where Pedro lives. I know where everyone lives. These towns are so small. I drive to Pedro's town. I'm still calling Elijah. My Diego, he's like, maybe he's just trolling. Like, it can't be. He finally answers. I'm like 2 minutes from Pedro's. He answers. He's like, oh, what's up? I'm like, what do you mean my boyfriend got on the school bus? He doesn't ride the school bus. I'm confused. He's like, oh, we took a field trip because me and my boyfriend go to different schools, you know, because we go to different schools. He goes to Elijah's school. I don't. I'm like, you took a field trip? Like, my boyfriend never told me. He's like, yeah, we took a field trip. And this little girl, oh, what's her name? Brayden, what's her name? I hear Brayden in the back. Oh, her name's Kay. But her name's not actually Kay. It's pretty unique. It's a name you won't just make up on the spot. It's a name that was given to her by her mother, okay? It's a name that a boy's not just gonna make up, okay? I'm like, what? I'm outside of Pedro's, so come out because we need to talk. He's like, no way you're outside. Pedro, Brayden, Elijah, they come outside. I'm standing out there in the freezing cold, me and Diego, and I'm like, guys, what? Like, tell me what happened. Like, explain to me what happened. I'm so, like, confused. And they're like, Tati, it was a joke. It was a joke. Look at your face. It was a joke. Like, what are you talking about? It was a joke. And I'm like, no, it's not. You literally told me her name. And Brayden's like, I made that name up. You did not make up that name. That name is pretty unique, you know? What? He's like, I swear my mom, word to my dad, I made that name up. Brayden,
Anyways, I'm upset. I'm like, Pedro, tell me, is it true? He's like, no, we're joking. So I'm delusional. I'm like, okay, it's a joke. My boyfriend finds out I'm at Pedro's. He's mad. He texts me, why are you at Pedro's house? Why are you harassing my friends? What's going on? And I'm like, dude, they told me that you got on the school bus. You went on this field trip I didn't even know about. And he's like, bro, on the field trip, I sat by Xavier. And he sends me a picture of him and Xavier sitting by each other, his friend. And I'm like, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, they told me it was a joke though, so like, cool. And he's like, yeah, it's a joke. You're so embarrassing going to their house. I hate you. Whatever. So I'm like, fuck, I guess I am embarrassing. That was kind of embarrassing. I go home. I'm sleeping. It's like 2 a.m. Elijah texts me. Daddy, by the way, it wasn't a joke. But I had to say that because I didn't know you were going to pull up and they were going to call me like a snitch. And I was like, what do you mean it wasn't a joke? What do you mean? And he's like, yeah, it was true. Like, I have a picture. And I'm like, what? Call me. I call him. I'm in tears. I'm crying. And he's like, bro, they were calling me a snitch. They were telling me, like, I'm fake because you pulled up and we're telling them. And I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. Sorry. And he's like, but I gotta tell you because, like, you're my friend. He sends me a picture. One of the most traumatizing pictures I've seen in my life. It's a picture of my boyfriend and a little girl. I say little because she looks young. She is. It's like laying on his shoulder and there's a blanket on them on the school bus. Okay? I'm like, AI, like, it can't be real. It's real. And I find this girl on Instagram and I find out she's 15. My boyfriend's gonna be 18 in a week. In 1 week, he's gonna be 18. She's 15. I DM her and I'm like, hey, is it true? Like, did you really, like, on the bus, baby girl? Like, you know? She responds and she's like, I didn't know he had a girlfriend. I would never, ever, ever do that if he had a girlfriend. Like, all his friends were telling me he was single. And I was like, great. Well, hi. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I would never do that. And I just felt so bad for her. I was like, girl, like, don't feed into his, like, wants and needs, because now look, like, they're saying this about you. Like, it's gonna ruin your reputation. I want to talk about reputations. But I was just like, you know. And she was like, no, like, I would never, like, let him do anything to me, blah, blah, blah. Bruh. I find out that there's a video of this. Somebody sends me a video. And all you can see, I don't know if, allegedly, you could see, like, the blanket, like, moving, okay? And my boyfriend, like, what are you doing? Like, oh, God, it's traumatizing. I can't even, like, repeat it. On the school bus. A 15-year-old. He's gonna be 18. I'm going insane. I feel like I just, like, I'm going insane. I'm literally going insane. Like, I'm going insane. So I text my boyfriend all the proof. And I'm like, so it was a joke? And he's like, bro, she was begging me, by the way. She's 15, okay? You're gonna be 18 in a week, bro. And I was like, we're done. And he was like, no, please. And I was like, I hate you. Like, why? How embarrassing for you and for me and for that little girl. The worst part is 5 months later, we got back together and dated for a whole nother year. And I still love Elijah for being so real. And me and Pedro and Brayden are fine, even though they lied to my face. But I would lie too for my friend. So, that's all.